Tomorrow marks exactly 2 weeks since the end of Roe versus Wade. Since that Supreme Court reversal, restrictive new regulations have been enacted across the country. Down in Mississippi, the very last clinic offering abortions has now shut down for good. In neighboring Louisiana, arguments will be heard in district court tomorrow over whether that state's 3 clinics can stay open. With me now to discuss is Louisiana State Representative Mandie Landry. This is a lot. This is a huge hearing happening in your state tomorrow. What's at stake?
Everything for the poor women in the state. As some of you may know, if these 3 clinics close or when they close, the closest state for women and pregnant people in Louisiana to receive an abortion will be Illinois. It's about 700 miles away. And as we all know, women seeking abortion care, they have a lot of financial issues. They have children at home. There's so much at stake for them and so many concerns. And we're really concerned down here in Louisiana.
Are you anticipating a special session to try to override if the court blocks the trigger ban?
Definitely. Whether if this court decides tomorrow that a preliminary injunction should issue, which would keep the clinics open indefinitely, I definitely think the speaker and the president or the governor may call us into a special session. Even if this goes to an appellate court, I can see them doing that just so we can have the issue finalized. As y'all know, abortion has been the #1 issue in Louisiana for so long. We have more abortion laws than any state in the country. So I think the anti-choice movement wants to get this nailed down as soon as possible.
Is this what the state of Louisiana wants? Tell me what the people there, you just said it, you've got so many laws down there about abortion. Is this how the people of Louisiana feel?
Not so much anymore. I mean, opinions have been changing according to polls in the last few years. What we have at stake here is the Louisiana Right to Life and the Family Forum. They have so much money and so much political power, and they hold a lot of power over elected officials in this state. Polls in recent years have shown that when you frame the question, you start asking about exceptions for rape and incest or life of the mother or first trimester, that many more people are actually pro-choice than they realize. We only have about 20% of the state that thinks that abortion should be illegal in all circumstances, which while that's higher than other states, it's still pretty low.
Well, right now, there are no pro-choice women in your state Senate. You just said it right there. The money that is behind these elected officials is huge. You're the only pro-choice person running for state Senate. Is that a really risky political move for you?
Not for me from New Orleans. I'm fortunate to live in a blueberry in this state, as we call it, to represent a very progressive district in a very progressive city. I was elected on a strong pro-choice platform in favor of gun safety measures, in favor of legalizing marijuana. And as you noted, right now, our state Senate, we only have 5 women in it, and all of them are anti-choice. And that's what made me, I'm going to run and try to be in the Senate to be the only pro-choice voice. One of these trigger bans that just passed a few weeks ago, when it passed through the Senate, not one person even asked a question. They just passed it through without any opposition. And, you know, that's we can do better than that, for sure.
Well, you're holding a Q&A with people in your state about the Roe decision, I think tomorrow. What are you expecting that's going to be like? On Monday.
I'm doing it Monday. Yeah, I wanted to, you know, I've been getting so many questions. I've been doing a lot of Instagram stories. I get DMs all day, emails. People are confused about the litigation, as they should be. It's confusing. So I'm going to see what happens tomorrow so that I can explain it better on Monday. As you might have seen this week, our Attorney General filed a writ with the state Supreme Court trying to get them to intervene. All of this confuses people. And this is kind of the point of the anti-choice movement, to make it confusing, to scare doctors, to scare people who are pregnant, to scare them from getting the care they need. And we have to make sure that people understand what's going on so that they know where to turn.
What is happening to people who need care? As I mentioned before, the last abortion clinic in the state of Mississippi has now closed. That's your next door neighbor. So what is it like down there in your whole region?
So Louisiana only has 3 clinics, down from about 12 or so 10 years ago. And what we've seen in the past several months since Texas passed their vigilante law is the wait times in the Louisiana clinics have been for a while between 2 to 3 weeks, because we've had a lot of women seeking care from Texas. So what you've had has been a lot of people who don't see a doctor until they're much further along in their pregnancy. So what happens there is what was originally a medication abortion becomes a surgical abortion. So now what we have with the 3 clinics, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to see everyone who has appointments right now, trying to get them through the door as quickly as possible. And anyone new who might need abortion care, who suddenly found themselves pregnant, we're encouraging them to make an appointment in another state, because we just don't know how long the clinics will be open.
But to go to a state 700 miles away, that is just not feasible for so many people. You said it earlier. Many women who seek abortion services live at or below the poverty line. Your state and neighboring states that are looking to put more restrictions in place, are they offering any additional financial support to these women who are now going to have to take on the massive financial burden of carrying a pregnancy to term and then having a baby in this world, which is massively expensive?
Not yet, that's for sure. Louisiana still has a $7.25 minimum wage, the same as the feds. As you noted, we have so many more people who live at or near the poverty line. I'm hopeful that next year we'll pass some bills that will help this population. I've worked a lot on maternal health measures and have been successful in passing bipartisan maternal health measures. But we need so much more than just a handful of maternal bills. As you noted, we need to get a lot of healthcare, but a lot of economic support for this population in particular. And, Louisiana has one of the worst maternal morbidity rates in the country. And I'm just worried about everything at this point. All these numbers are going to get worse in the next few years.
All right, then. Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. Representative Mandie Landry.